In the last decade or so, the scope of marketing seems to have increased exponentially, as marketers are on the hook for ad creative and distribution, but also need to stay on top of online analytics, sustainability, and generative artificial intelligence. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Marketers also have to be consummate storytellers, tailoring their messages for a disparate number of customers, but also an ever-expanding number of stakeholders in-house, from HR to sales to the C-suite. Jim Williams, CMO of Uptempo, which provides marketing operations software, calls the typical CMO the Chief Everything Officer, and he's not kidding. Indeed, it's difficult for marketers to align their jumble of activities with the return on investment and demonstrate their value to their most important client, their organization. Part of the solution with marketers struggling with an increasingly complicated workflow is to get a better handle on their MarTech stack. Easier said than done, when set it and forget it is the default mode for most marketers. But it's mission critical that marketers get their arms around technology because they can no longer rely on their Chief Information Officer or their IT teams. The democratization of technology has diminished the influence of IT in many companies, with IT now responsible for less than 25% spending on apps, according to Williams, who was a recent guest on the A&A Champions of Growth podcast. MarTech is considered the panacea for marketers, but deciding which tools to invest in and how to get the most of them remains a significant challenge, especially when it comes to accountability, planning, and performance. Williams calls it the fog of marketing, descending on CMOs and their teams and hurting their ability to optimize their activities. A lot of the fog stems from the fact that the infrastructure for many marketers is run on freeware, instant messaging, or a collaborative work tool not built specifically for the needs of marketers. Williams says the fog can get pretty thick and makes it hard for marketers to gain visibility and show how their campaigns align with the company's overall strategy and supports corporate goals. The lack of cohesion leaves marketers asking how much money is available for the campaign and wondering how they could be nimbler with budget allocations when there is a change in buyer behavior. Ultimately, because the campaigns are not tied to performance metrics, it becomes an Herculean task for marketers to explain the ROI and generate better outcomes, so they stay stuck in the fog. Williams recommends a few key questions that marketers need to answer if they want to improve their standing within the C-suite and the organization at large. They include, can you articulate a set of goals and communicate them effectively to the C-suite? Do you know how to measure value? Do you have the right people in place who follow a set process when it comes to execution and performance? Do goals cascade into a living plan that people can easily access? The drill down is developing a common taxonomy and identifying the metadata needed to measure the success of your campaigns. It's crucial that marketers understand past performance data if they want to develop effective modeling. Otherwise, marketers will never get to the notion of agile marketing that's constantly being bandied about, and will stay mired in the fog, unable to see a clear path forward. For the A&A Champions of Growth podcast, I'm Matthew Schwartz.